Imam Nawawi is one of the major scholars within the Shafi'i school. He is possibly the preeminent scholar these days. So you have the founder, Shafi, who founded the Shafi'i school of jurisprudence, but probably the prime scholar, very possibly the prime scholar who ultimately refined and polished all of the fiqh within the Shafi'i school is Nawawi, and he is, I believe, a Sheikh al-Islam. So again, he's one of the 28 most prominent, most revered scholars of Islam.
Okay. So it's of course at this stage, if a layman Muslim, a random Muslim says to me, no, she was 18, I'd rather listen to Nawawi rather than him, right?
Correct. Nawawi is a major
Yeah.
scholar. Yes, this
Okay.
is an incredibly. Now, understand we have a quote from, so that was from Bidaya wa Nihaya, whatever that means. And it is well known that scholarly consensus is protected from error. Those who've watched my channel know that I've covered this in detail. Scholarly consensus, because it does say within the Quran, and it's therefore in the Sharia, that my ummah is upon guidance, and Allah will not make the ummah fall upon error, because the ummah cannot agree on
Mm.
misguidance. Tirmidhi narrated, the Messenger of Allah said, Allah will not cause my ummah to agree on misguidance. And that is classed as Sahih al-Albani in Sahih al-Jami. So understand, there's just evidence over and over and over again that she was 9 years old. Now, of course, you have these comments that say when a girl is 9 and so on, but we have at least 16 hadith that claim that she was 9 years old, right? And we've gone through some of that. So, um, yeah. So now, giving one's children in marriage is permissible, right? So this is within the hadith as well. So, and the iddah for the girl before puberty, that is the waiting period. If you divorce a girl before she is out of puberty, you need to wait 3 months to see if she's pregnant. Okay? And it says here, narrated Aisha, that the Prophet wrote the marriage contract with her when she was 6 and consummated when she was 9. So it is permissible.
Okay, sorry, wait, what is the source that you're reading from? The 5133 narrated Aisha?
I think this is Sahih Bukhari. I need to double check this reference, but this I took directly out of one of the major books of the scholars. So I think.
Okay, well, there's one bottom right below this, Bukhari. You've got Bukhari right underneath this.
Yeah. So again, I used to play with dolls in the presence of the Prophet, so my girlfriends used to play with me. Now it says the Prophet would call them to join me, and the playing with dolls and similar images is forbidden, but it was allowed for Aisha as she was a little girl, not yet reached the age of puberty. And that's in the Fath al-Bari. The Fath al-Bari is the prime commentary upon Sahih Bukhari by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. So this is what scholars read when they try to understand the hadith. They will read the commentaries, and Asqalani is the prime scholar that modern scholars use to understand Sahih Bukhari. So she was not yet at puberty.
So it's a well-established fact within the Islamic sources that Aisha was 6 years old when the Islamic prophet married her, and she was 9 when
Yes.
the marriage was consummated. Because that's my second question, is that you've shown me all the material on the fact that Aisha was 6 years of age, but now the issue is that, like, Ali Dawa and other Muslim apologists who then argue and debate against the fact that no, the marriage was consummated at 9 because she was mature. She was physically mature. She had a menstrual cycle going for her, and so she had somehow reached puberty. And so the issue is that we cannot see her as a little child anymore. So, any comments on that?
This is a false claim.
Was she a prepubescent child when Mohammed consummated the marriage?
Let's talk about that in one moment. I want to say thank you, Nicholas. I very, very much appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. Really, very grateful. Yeah, if there's any questions, highlight my name with @Lloyd, and I'm more likely to see it. So Momo didn't take, he contributed. Yeah, so we will discuss as much of this as I can. So, in answer to your question, there is no validity to this. Clearly, there's great embarrassment and shame. Now, unfortunately, so you can go through the Sahih Hadith, and of course Muslims will dispute this, and they do, as we've seen. However, as I said, it is obligatory for Muslims to believe the Sahih as if they were witnesses. This is part of what is required of a Muslim.